yelling, so it's been good.
Who have you been yelling at?
No one.
Oh.
This group's been great, and it's been fun to coach, and they want to be coached. So I don't have to do a lot of yelling. I talk often because of the position I'm in, but it's been a great camp so far.
When you got that defensive coordinator title, has the transition gone about as well as you thought it would? How is it going here through 5 practices?
It has been. Obviously this being my second opportunity at this position has been great. I've had a lot of years of experience preparing for this opportunity. So, I don't believe in the term ready. My daughter was ready to drive at 10. She just wasn't prepared. So I really believe in preparation. I really worked hard at preparing. And I think the biggest thing to being prepared is being a great listener and then being able to help people. And that's what we're doing. I'm just helping our guys, put them in the right position and facilitating some leadership with our coaches.
Is it hard, good, or bad to still be coaching the tackles as you're the coordinator?
That's all I've ever known. So when I was the coordinator at Mississippi State, I coached the front. And so I've got a really good group of veteran coaches in the back end. We kind of talk about the details, how we're going to do things, how we're going to execute them. And then I just make sure that we're staying on track. And if we aren't on track, what's the next step? So that's kind of the progression for us.
With your defensive linemen, you guys are getting full pads tomorrow.
Yeah. How
much do you really evaluate those guys before they're in full pads?
It's difficult. You can see some athleticism. But one of the things about playing up front, you're a first responder. And again, I don't want to equate that to what our servicemen do in our front, but where everybody else is running in, running out, they're running in. And so it's a lot different when they put the pads on. So we'll get a chance to see some guys elevate themselves once the pads come on tomorrow.
Coach, what's been your initial impression of some of your younger guys, Tyus Martin and Ryan Williams in particular? What have you seen out of them early on?
I believe we kind of hit the mark. And what we try to do is give ourselves a profile on the guys that fit us and what we're looking for. And not only from a talent standpoint, but from the guys who have smarts. They can really process the game. Because my experience in the NFL, everybody's talented. The guys that struggle are the guys who struggle to process. And so they are processing our systems well. And again, they're like all of us. They just need time. So I'm excited about them.
How's Tyus with his health?
Tyus is doing great.
Yeah.
Doing great. Had a great summer for how brief it was for those young guys. But again, he's a big, strong thing. He's got the things you can't teach. And so he's got size, he's got strength, and he's explosive. So we'll just keep building him and progressing with him every day.
So when I saw Carl at Pac-12 Media Day a couple weeks ago, he and Nate were both raving about Ryan Williams, how impressive he looked.
Yes.
What's your first impression of him, obviously without pads, but is he as impressive as they're saying?
He is. The thing that makes Ryan is that he really enjoys the game of football. Everybody else said has their why. His why is he loves it. One thing he's got a great tool set and he processes at a high level. So, the future's bright. And again, he's still a long way away. And it's like talking about rookies, for every rookie you start, you usually lose a game for that. So we'll keep progressing.
You're a holdover, but it was clear Carl was very unhappy after the Texas game. He wanted. How different is the defense going to look under Chris Fields? Well,
it is different. The kids are different. It's a new year, so we've got some new schemes in place that are going to be tailored to our players. And I hear that question quite often after 29 years. How different is? Well, it's a new team. So every year in college football, the dynamics change so much, and we're custom tailors. So all we're trying to do is tailor the things that are for our best players. Every week we want our best players. So it will be different because our players are different and a little bit of our scheme's different. But primarily we'll have some similarities. We were top 20 in first down defense, top 10 and third and fourth down defense. There were a lot of good things that happened a year ago. So I believe we're going in the right direction.
Nate mentioned at Pac-12 Media Day that the new defense, he thinks you've simplified it a little bit. Do you agree with that? And if you do, then why?
Well, first of all, nobody comes to watch me coach. And I learned as a young coach is that you simplify things so your players can play fast. So if you're a 4-6, I just want you to play at a 4-6. And you do that by giving them things that they can process consistently. And that happens with clean reps every day. So we try to have as much same as in our scheme as we do, which now allows them to keep seeing those reps over and over and over and work the fundamentals.
Last season, Isaiah Lewis was brought in for Chris Miller's injury. With Chris Miller and Mark Perry being back, how are you planning to keep those guys in rotation and balance their skill sets?
Whoever plays the best that week.
Yeah.
Practice determines reps. Practice determines reps. I don't determine that. They do. Whoever competes, plays the best that week, starts. And I don't think it get any fairer than that. Best players play.
How much is that making that group better right now?
It does. Competition breeds everything. I always give the analogy. You don't know how nice your wife is till you see your neighbor looking at her. So yeah, competition definitely breeds competition.
Sorry.
You like that one?
That would be the perfect place
So-
to have anything else.
Well, yeah, one of the, I mean, speaking of competition, defensive line group, Justin was asked about the young group. We heard a lot about Naeem in the spring. Has he taken what he did in the spring kind of as a launching point to the fall?
The answer is yes. You know, I believe this to my core, and it's not just coached up. When your fronts become great, your teams become great. Every place I've been where you win championships, you are dominant up front. And so we've got to get more guys going that direction. And I've been pleased with Nice. He's been leading that progression for us.
Is Terrence Lang poised to be his upperclassman star for you, or is he already there?
No, he's a work in progress. And I believe Terrence would tell you that. We got a lot of work to do. None of us are finished products, coaches, players, managers. You know, every day, and we got to find a way to improve this organization, this program. So that's our goal every day, is to focus on improving every day.
Thanks, Coach.